So now we're going to focus in on factorizing the quadratic type. So these types that we're going to look at for the next couple of lessons will always go into the two brackets, but that previous video is just to really emphasize what you're always looking for when you're choosing between a factorization into single or double, because you will need to make that decision. So we're going to zone in on where we will have an x squared and a constant. And a little note for you to make here. When we're factorizing a quadratic expression, or it could be an equation, but these today are expressions, has the general form ax squared plus bx plus c. Not always in that order, but you can always rearrange them so that they're in the general form order that we usually find. Okay. And first of all, we're going to do a recap on how to factorize when a is 1. Okay. Important that we have that skill just cemented before we take it any further. Okay. So the ones we're going to look at, first of all, are when this value of a in front of x squared is 1. So in this such case here, so we won't see that 1x squared because when a is 1, we don't need to show it. But we're just being asked to factorize x squared plus 5x plus 6. So that check that I talked about in the last video, do we have an x squared? Yes. Do we have a constant? Yes. So that will confirm to you, if you're factorizing this, that it's got to go into double brackets. Okay. So our answer is going to look like this. Okay. And we need to work out those two numbers that are going to go here and are going to go here. So this should be hopefully some revision for you. We need to find two numbers that add to make b. Okay. If we go back to our general form, b is that number in front of x. So in this case, we're looking for two that add to make 5. Then we're looking for the two to also multiply to make c, which is that number by itself, which is in our case 6. So in this case, let's have a think about our two numbers. I'm just trying to think now. I initially went for 5 and 1, but that doesn't work, so we're looking for 3 and 2. Okay. And in this case, they're both going to be positive. Important to make that distinction. Here it's quite clear, but in other cases it won't be. Okay. Therefore, we can then take our brackets, and we now know that they must be plus 3 and plus 2. Okay. We can check that by expanding here. X times x gives us x squared. X times 2, 2x. X times 3 is 3x, which altogether will make 5x, and 3 times 2 is 6. Okay. So that should be a nice recap for you there. So if that was a good reminder, make a little note of that one. Then we're also going to have a second quick look at this one. Another way that it could be posed to you, particularly in MCAT. So here we're saying the area of a rectangle is being expressed as a quadratic. So what we're saying is that the area inside is that there. And you're being asked to find, okay, what could this length be? And what could this length be? And in this case, all you need to do is exactly the same. Okay? That just means we need to factorize it into those double brackets, which leaves us with this bracket could be this side and this bracket could be this side. So in this case, we're looking for two numbers that add to make -8 and multiply to make -20. This time they are going to be -10 and 2. Therefore, in our brackets, we will have x take away 10, and x plus 2. Okay. And just be careful, because if you're answering a question like this, you need to then put your answer in context. So the possible side lengths would be x minus 10 and x plus 2. So there are now a few for you to solve there. So pause the video and, sorry, not solve, to factorize there. So pause now and give those a go. Okay, and if you're back for the answers, your answers should be there, so you can mark those now.